spectacular. She's spectacular. And when are we going to start talking about her the same way we talk about Caitlin Clark? I mean, you look at her skills, you look at what she is special. When are we going to start doing that? Because let me tell you something. This sister's got game.
Did you catch Stephen A. Smith's latest opinion? If so, your eyebrows might have shot up. This man, considered one of the most respected voices in sports, had the audacity to claim that JuJu Watkins deserves recognition, similar to Caitlin Clark. That's not just a stretch, it's an extreme leap. We're comparing a player with 67 double-doubles and 17 triples. Seriously? This comparison is completely unfounded and undermines the statistics and impact of both players.
Look at her skill sets, her ball handling ability, her driving ability, her shot making ability, her three-point shooting shot making ability. This sister is something special. She is spectacular. Pull up Jay right there. She is the package. And she's been the package. We saw her coming last year, but now that Caitlin Clark is gone, we should be focusing on her even more so now. And just like I told you when Caitlin Clark was the golden goose, I said that's the golden goose. That didn't mean she was the best player in the world. It meant that she was pretty damn good and coming, okay? And the fans loved her.
Stephen A. Smith is behaving like a helpless bystander in the media landscape, expressing regret over why JuJu isn't getting more recognition. Newsflash, Stephen A., you are the media. You have a prominent platform in the sports world and play a crucial role in determining who receives airtime. If JuJu isn't in the spotlight, perhaps you should take a moment to reflect and consider your own influence in this situation.
I'm saying the only question now about JuJu is, why is she not being shown more love? Because clearly she deserves it.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend this is just a one-time gaffe. On First Take, Stephen A. Smith didn't merely drop JuJu's name. He went all out, asking, when are we going to start discussing her like we do Caitlin Clark? As if he isn't shaping the narrative on his own show. He practically sets the agenda himself. If he wants more focus on JuJu, he has the power to give her the platform she deserves.
When we see Caitlin Clark pulling up from logo range, oh, well, I'll be damned. When we see Caitlin Clark running the floor, finding Hannah Stolke like Peyton Manning finds Marvin Harrison, well, I'll be damned.
It's not that JuJu Watkins isn't talented. She's exceptional. However, Caitlin Clark is operating on a generational level, already reshaping the sport at the professional stage. Comparing JuJu to Clark right now is akin to pitting someone preparing for a marathon against someone who has just set a record, crossed the finish line, and waved to the crowd. The difference in achievement is significant.
But the biggest problem is this is his show. And he's decided not to talk about JuJu. That's the funny part. Deep down, I think Stephen A. knows why they're not talking about JuJu Watkins.
What's truly ironic is Stephen A. Smith's act of feigning ignorance about how the media operates. He discusses coverage as if it's some enigma beyond anyone's control, yet he has been at the helm of it for years. If he genuinely believed in JuJu's potential, he could easily feature her on ESPN or devote a full segment to her career and stats. Instead, he opts for easy viral moments, fully aware that the comparison to Caitlin Clark is absurd. It undermines meaningful discussion and showcases his preference for sensationalism over substance.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT!
She signed my jersey! So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball, period.
She just brings so much passion to the game, and look at all these people that just want to come and see her.
It is no secret that the Indiana Fever are the most popular team in the WNBA. It is good for the entire WNBA.
This isn't a critique of JuJu Watkins. She has immense talent, charisma, and a bright future ahead. However, Stephen A. Smith claimed she deserves the same treatment as Caitlin Clark, which is simply unrealistic. It's not that JuJu isn't skilled, rather, she hasn't reached that level yet. There's absolutely no shame in that. She's still on her journey to greatness.
The thing that everybody can agree on is JuJu is special. JuJu is a great player. I love her personality. I love how she's aggressive on the court. She gets downhill, you're either about to give up 2 points or you're about to give up a foul.
This entire segment seemed like Stephen A. Smith was crafting a narrative solely to provoke controversy. He's attempting to manufacture drama where it doesn't exist. If you want to support JuJu Watkins, that's fantastic. Just give her the time to establish her own path. But let's not pretend she's already rewritten the record books when her first chapter is still being written.
Right, JuJu, yeah, she can score her butt off. Don't get me wrong, JuJu can score her butt off. But is she facilitated at a high level, right? Now, we're going to break it all the way down, man, because as much as I love JuJu, I just don't think she's there where Caitlin Clark is at just yet.
Stephen A., if you're going to promote a narrative, at least ensure it withstands scrutiny. Right now, it feels like you're not just seasoning the conversation, you've poured in too much salt and then wondered why it tastes off. You can't create a media moment and act surprised when people don't buy into your spin. You built this narrative, so own the outcomes it generates. It's when those in power feign helplessness that narratives become absurd. In this case, the only thing you're truly powerless against is the undeniable truth. Caitlin Clark stands in a league of her own. Trying to force a comparison with JuJu Watkins doesn't elevate her status, it just undermines the discussion and makes it seem desperate. Let JuJu thrive on her own merits.
I just want to throw this stat at you, right? Caitlin Clark had 67 double-doubles and 17 triple-doubles in 139 games. Caitlin was more than a scoring machine. Absolutely. She's doing more than scoring. JuJu Watkins has 15 double-doubles and 0 triple-doubles through 62 games. That's for comparison of how great Caitlin was.
If we're discussing numbers, let's dive in. Caitlin Clark scored 2,000 career points in just 75 games. That's video game territory. For JuJu Watkins to match that, she would need to average 33 points per game for the next 12 games just to catch up. That's not progress. That's like trying to chase down a comet on roller skates. Now, if we compare their first 62 college games, the points are relatively close. Clark has 1,662, while JuJu has 1,604. Rebounds, nearly identical. Clark with 433 and JuJu with 436. However, when we look at assists, the gap widens significantly. Clark recorded an impressive 471 assists, while JuJu managed only 214. That's not a minor difference. It starkly highlights their roles on the court. One player orchestrates the offense and uplifts her entire team, while the other is still learning how to facilitate play effectively.
Out of 62 games for Caitlin and JuJu, we see the points for Caitlin. 1662, 1604 for JuJu. She averaged 26 or 27, and JuJu averaged 26, right? 433 rebounds for Caitlin, 436 rebounds for JuJu, so she won there. 471 assists for Caitlin, 214 assists for JuJu.
Are you noticing this? Caitlin Clark was creating nearly double the scoring opportunities for her teammates compared to JuJu Watkins, all while maintaining impressive scoring numbers herself. That's not merely good basketball, it's the hallmark of an elite floor general and a true MVP. This distinction separates a pure scorer from someone who governs the entire flow of the game. Caitlin wasn't just inflating her stats, she was orchestrating the offense, enhancing the performance of everyone around her.
Now, this is the main separation here, is what a lot of people aren't understanding. For you to be getting all these assists and still make it this tough for people to get to your scoring records, that is insane.
But it doesn't end there. The shooting percentages reveal an even more concerning tale in this comparison. Caitlin Clark boasts a solid 46% shooting from the field and an impressive 37% from three-point range. In contrast, JuJu Watkins is at 41% from the field and a shaky 33% from beyond the arc. When you consider the volume of their attempts, those percentage gaps become significant. This isn't just an off-shooting night. It highlights a persistent decline in efficiency.
All right, now let's look at the shooting percentages, right? 46 from the floor for Caitlin, right? I mean, y'all can see the numbers. I'm just trying to read it out for y'all. 41% from JuJu. From the three, 37%. From the three, 32 or 33% for JuJu. Okay, 87 for Caitlin, 84 from the free throw for JuJu.
When we examine the big scoring performances over their first 62 games, Caitlin Clark had 23 games where she scored at least 30 points, compared to JuJu Watkins' 20. While that is still remarkable, Clark's ability to consistently deliver high-scoring games is on another level. She regularly produced performances that could easily make the headlines on SportsCenter. The real game changer, however, is in the double-doubles and triple-doubles. Clark accumulated an astonishing 67 double-doubles and 17 triple-doubles during her college career. On the other hand, JuJu has 15 double-doubles and has yet to register a single triple-double. This isn't a critique of Watkins as a player, but it underscores the distinction between achieving legendary status and being an emerging star. That's where the line is drawn.
Caitlin has 26 double-doubles, and JuJu has 15 double-doubles. And of course, Caitlin at this time has 6 triple-doubles, while JuJu has 0.
These statistics don't merely highlight a gap, they reveal a vast chasm. Caitlin Clark is putting up all-time numbers that rival the legends of the game, while JuJu Watkins, despite her evident talent, is still working on establishing her rhythm. It's akin to comparing someone who has already etched their name in history to someone who has the potential to get there eventually. This is why it's utterly ridiculous for Stephen A. Smith to suggest they belong in the same conversation.
If this was 3 years ago, trust me, JuJu would be great. Because she would just be another, oh my God, a great women's basketball player. Oh goodness gracious, this is amazing. There wouldn't be a conversation about it because remember, she would have just been another gust of wind, another leaf floating through the air.
Speaking of a Steph Curry-like impact, let's discuss their signature moves. Much like prime LeBron compelled teams to entirely rethink their defensive strategies with his step-back threes, Caitlin Clark creates a similar disruption with her limitless shooting range. She doesn't just hit long-range shots occasionally, she effortlessly steps back for 30-footers like it's second nature. This kind of shooting stretches defenses in ways that JuJu Watkins' game doesn't. When you watch both players side by side, it's clear that Watkins relies heavily on physicality. She thrives in the paint, muscling her way to the rim and excelling in traffic as a classic downhill driver. While she is effective in this role, defenses can still neutralize her. Teams can congest the paint and effectively contest her finishes.
Shot chart. Okay, this is the entire career shooting for JuJu. Okay, now like I said, her game is to drive. She's gonna get downhill and she's either gonna get the 2 or you're gonna give up a foul. That's her game. All right, she's unstoppable like that, and she plays to her strength, which is perfect. There's nothing wrong with how she plays. Okay, now I want y'all to realize how empty it is back here. All right, she don't really necessarily take these far back threes.
Clark's shot chart resembles a creation from a mad scientist. She's taking and making shots from astonishing distances. We're talking about rainbow threes from 7 feet beyond the arc, attempts most coaches would hesitate to endorse. Yet she's sinking them at a rate that forces defenders to guard her nearly at half court. This creates a seismic shift in defensive strategy. When you must defend someone that far out, the entire defense becomes compromised. Rotations slow down, gaps appear, and suddenly, her teammates look like all-stars, benefiting from open shots due to the gravitational pull Clark generates. In contrast, JuJu Watkins doesn't stretch defenses in the same way. She poses a significant threat in the lane, but isn't a floor spacer like Clark.
And it's just on fire all up in here. Look at this. Now, y'all pay attention to Caitlin. Now let's go back to JuJu's. Okay? This is the difference. This is why people were talking about Caitlin Clark the way that they were talking about her. I love JuJu game. I'm not even making this video to crap on her. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand why JuJu isn't as captivating as Caitlin Clark.
The truth is, Clark's impact isn't just transformative for women's basketball. It closely mirrors Steph Curry's influence on the men's game. The moment she crosses midcourt, she becomes a scoring threat. Coupling that with her exceptional vision and ability to thread cross-court passes through traffic, she embodies a once-in-a-generation talent. Even when you overlook the stats, it's clear that Clark operates on a different level. She's not merely scoring, she's dictating the tempo, manipulating defenses, and positioning her entire team for success. In contrast, JuJu Watkins occupies a more traditional role as a high-volume scorer. But she doesn't alter the game in the same significant way that Clark does.
A lot of them that can't drive and lay the ball up decently. But I'm saying there's players that can drive, get downhill, and lay the ball up efficiently, and shoot the three every now and then, because that's the type of player JuJu is. She gets downhill, she's going to lay that ball up, she's going to shoot around the perimeter, she's going to shoot the three. I can tell you one player that comes to mind right away that does that, Kelsey Plum. She does it. Kelsey Mitchell. She does it. Asia. She does it.
It's undeniable that JuJu Watkins possesses immense talent and is an exciting player with a bright future ahead. However, suggesting she's already on the same level as Caitlin Clark doesn't hold water. They belong to different tiers in the basketball hierarchy. JuJu is a budding star, while Caitlin is a generational talent who is transforming the game itself. Both have remarkable skills, but their impact and experience vary significantly.
So why aren't we talking about JuJu like we talked about Caitlin? Well, because she's not Caitlin. She doesn't captivate the audience like Caitlin. She doesn't draw like Caitlin. She doesn't sell like Caitlin. She doesn't do anything like Caitlin. Nothing she does is on Caitlin's level, except scoring the basketball. And she's only on Caitlin's level because she needs to take 16, 18, 20 shots a game. She needs to be high usage, low efficiency to get the scoring numbers that she gets to.
Stephen A. Smith's comments can be incredibly frustrating as they highlight a broader issue in how media narratives are crafted. Analysts seem eager to anoint the next Caitlin Clark, often making comparisons that just don't fit. This approach undermines both players. Caitlin has already redefined women's basketball and is the gold standard for excellence. On the other hand, JuJu Watkins, while incredibly promising, deserves to be recognized for her own unique journey rather than being rushed into a narrative that she hasn't yet earned. Let her grow and develop at her own pace. Pushing her into a spotlight that doesn't accurately reflect her current standing does a disservice to her potential and hard work.
But when we get to saying that I think JuJu is better than Caitlin Clark, you gotta allow the Caitlin Clark fans to say what they want to say and defend. I see a lot of people get mad that the Caitlin fans are debunking the comparison, but then the JuJu fans are coming up and saying, hey, you shouldn't be comparing the two, just enjoy greatness. You don't have to compare everybody to Caitlin Clark, and the fact that everybody is comparing their favorite player to Caitlin Clark, that speaks volumes on Caitlin. That's like everybody comparing their career to Michael Jordan. She's the creme de la creme of college basketball, I'm guessing. That's why everybody is comparing her to, Caitlin Clark.
The next time you hear someone declare JuJu Watkins as the next Caitlin Clark, take a moment to pause, examine the stats, watch the games, and assess their respective impacts. Numbers don't lie, and the footage speaks volumes. The disparity between the two players is larger than Stephen A. Smith's ego during a Monday morning rant. Let's appreciate JuJu for who she truly is, an exceptional young talent with a promising future, rather than who the media wants her to be for sensationalism. Caitlin is breaking records, while JuJu is on her path to achieving them, and that's perfectly okay. However, claiming they're equals at this moment is a hot take that definitely deserves scrutiny. Do you agree? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.